At 89, Julie Andrews finally admits the affair that ended it all. Julie Andrews, born in 1935 in Walton-on-Thames, England, is one of the most beloved actresses and singers of all time, rising to fame with Mary Poppins, 1964, for which she won an Academy Award. She became a household name. Her role as Maria in The Sound of Music, 1965, further cemented her legacy as a cultural icon. Known for her crystal-clear soprano voice and graceful presence, Andrews built a career spanning film, stage, and television. Despite vocal challenges later in life, she reinvented herself as an author and voice actress, remaining a symbol of elegance, resilience, and enduring talent. After 60 years of keeping it a secret, she revealed the affair in 1965 when both were married. Julie Andrews, Tragedy and Secrets. Behind Julie Andrews' radiant smile and timeless performances lies a childhood filled with hardship, secrets, and resilience. Born in 1935 in Walton-on-Thames, Surrey, her early life was far from the fairy tales she would later bring to the screen. During World War II, her parents' marriage fell apart. Julie's mother, Barbara, had an affair with a family friend, a revelation that remained hidden from Julie until she was 15. It was only then that she discovered the man she believed to be her father was not her biological parent, a truth that left her shaken and struggling with her identity. After the divorce, Julie lived with her mother and her new husband, Ted Andrews. Life in this new household was fraught with pain. Ted was an alcoholic whose dark behavior cast a shadow over Julie's adolescence. Reports later revealed that he displayed inappropriate behavior toward her, forcing the young girl to lock her bedroom door at night to protect herself. This environment of fear and instability shaped Julie's emotional resilience, even as she silently endured trauma that no child should have faced. The war years were equally harsh. England was scarred by bombings and shortages, and the family struggled financially. Julie grew up amidst rationing, poverty, and emotional turmoil. Yet within this bleakness, one unexpected discovery altered the course of her life. Her voice, Ted Andrews, despite his destructive flaws, recognized her extraordinary singing talent. Julie's vocal ability was unlike anything he had ever heard, clear, powerful, and remarkably controlled for a child. He began to nurture her talent, arranging lessons and encouraging her to perform. By the age of 10, Julie was already captivating audiences with a voice that seemed too mature for her years. Singing became her refuge, a way to escape the chaos at home and transform pain into beauty. Though her childhood was marked by betrayal, family fractures, and personal threats, it also laid the foundation for her artistry. The struggles that could have silenced her instead fueled a determination that would one day make her a star on the world's greatest stages. Julie Andrews' early years tell a story not of glamour, but of survival. The young girl who grew up surrounded by war, broken family ties, and personal trauma would channel her resilience into music and performance. Her voice was not only a gift, it was her salvation. It carried her from the darkness of her past into a future where she would become a symbol of grace, talent, and endurance admired across generations. Julie Andrews' journey to Broadway. Julie Andrews' path toward stardom was not sudden, but rather a steady, disciplined journey shaped by extraordinary talent and rigorous training. Building on her natural gift for singing, she became one of the rare child performers whose early promise blossomed into a legendary career. From a young age, Julie was mentored by Madame Lillian Stiles Allen, a revered vocal coach whom Julie later described as her third mother. Under Allen's strict yet nurturing guidance, Julie's crystalline soprano voice was carefully trained, allowing her to command an operatic range far beyond her years. This foundation would set her apart from other child performers of her time, giving her not only vocal power, but also precision and technique that critics marveled at. At just 10 years old, Julie was already stepping onto the stage, performing alongside her family and singing for soldiers during World War II. These appearances weren't just casual performances. They were moments in which Julie learned the discipline of entertaining under pressure, bringing comfort and joy to audiences who deeply needed it. By the age of 12, she made her professional debut at the London Hippodrome, a grand moment that marked the beginning of her official career. The performance created a buzz in theatrical circles, and people began to whisper that a new star had been born. Her trajectory reached an astonishing milestone when, at 13 years old, Julie became the youngest solo singer ever to perform at the Royal Variety Show in front of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. The achievement was both historic and symbolic. It placed her not just as a child novelty act, but as a true artist recognized by the highest echelons of British society. During the 1950s, Julie expanded her artistic portfolio beyond singing. She acted in children's theater productions, participated in radio dramas, and appeared on television programs, all while building her reputation as a versatile and captivating performer. By the time she reached her late teens, she already had a dedicated fan base, a remarkable feat in an era when most child stars struggled to transition into adulthood. 1954, Broadway debut in The Boyfriend launched stardom. Julie Andrews' early years on stage illustrate the fusion of natural talent, disciplined training, and serendipitous opportunities. From singing to soldiers as a child, to captivating royalty and dazzling Broadway. These beginnings cemented her identity as a performer destined to define an era of musical theater and film. From Broadway glory to Hollywood, building upon the momentum of her early stage career. Julie Andrews entered a new era in the mid-1950s, where her name would forever be etched into Broadway and later Hollywood history. The defining moment came in 1956, when she originated the role of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. Under the direction of Moss Hart and opposite Rex Harrison, Andrews delivered a performance that critics hailed as luminous, witty, and transformative. The show became one of Broadway's greatest triumphs, running for years and securing Julie's reputation as the premier musical actress of her generation. Her Broadway presence deepened in 1960, when she starred in Camelot alongside Richard Burton. While Camelot did not match the commercial success of My Fair Lady, the chemistry between Andrews and Burton captivated audiences. Julie's portrayal was elegant and restrained, blending strength with subtle vulnerability. By this time, she was no longer simply a promising ingenue. She was a bona fide star of the American stage. Yet, in 1964, Andrews faced one of the greatest disappointments of her career. When Warner Brothers adapted My Fair Lady into a lavish Hollywood film, the role of Eliza, originated and perfected by Julie, was given to Audrey Hepburn. The decision stung, not only because it denied Andrews the chance to immortalize her signature role on screen, but also because many in the industry and audience felt she had earned it. Still, this apparent setback became a twist of fate. Walt Disney invited Julie Andrews to star in Mary Poppins, leading her to stardom. The Sound of Music solidified her iconic status worldwide. These years, from Broadway's glittering lights to the global phenomenon of The Sound of Music, were Julie Andrews' pinnacle. They showcased her versatility, resilience in the face of rejection, and ability to transform challenges into triumphs. More than just a performer, she became a legend whose voice and presence defined an era of stage and cinema, broadening roles amid career trials. after the resounding success of The Sound of Music. Julie Andrews faced a dilemma that many stars encounter at the peak of fame: the danger of being typecast. With her reputation as the wholesome singing nanny and governess firmly cemented, she began to worry that Hollywood would only see her as a performer of light-hearted musicals. Determined to prove her versatility, Andrews accepted roles that defied audience expectations. In 1964, she starred opposite James Garner in The Americanization of Emily, a dark comedy and war drama that allowed her to showcase sharp wit and emotional depth rather than musical charm. 2 years later, she appeared in Alfred Hitchcock's spy thriller Torn Curtain, 1966, alongside Paul Newman. Though the film divided critics, Andrews' performance demonstrated her willingness to take risks and step away from the roles that had made her famous. That same year, she played a missionary's wife in Hawaii, 1966, a sweeping historical epic that achieved box office success. However, her subsequent films revealed the unpredictable nature of stardom. Star, 1968, a biographical musical about Gertrude Lawrence, and Darling Lily, 1970, a spy romance musical directed by her husband, Blake Edwards, were both commercial failures. Lavishly produced but poorly received, they marked a downturn in her film career and raised questions about whether audiences had grown weary of big-budget musicals. Recognizing the shifting tides, Andrews turned to television in 1972 with The Julie Andrews Hour. The show was critically praised, earning her an Emmy Award for her performance. Yet, despite accolades, it struggled in the ratings and was canceled after just one season. For Andrews, it was both a professional blow and a reminder of the volatility of show business. Refusing to be defeated, she reinvented herself once again by performing in nightclubs and live concerts. This new chapter allowed her to explore a more intimate style of performance, connecting directly with audiences in ways that Broadway or film could not. Stripped of elaborate sets and Hollywood spectacle, Andrews relied solely on her voice, humor, and natural charisma. Critics and fans alike admired her courage to adapt and praised her ability to remain relevant in a rapidly changing entertainment landscape. These years, marked by experimentation and setbacks, ultimately reinforced Julie Andrews' resilience. She was no longer just the enchanting soprano of musicals. She had proven herself as a versatile actress, a television personality, and a live entertainer. Even in moments of failure, Andrews embodied grace and determination, continually seeking new ways to connect with her audience and redefine her artistry. Julie Andrews' silver screen revival, after years of professional turbulence and mixed critical reception, Julie Andrews staged one of the most remarkable comebacks in Hollywood history. The late 1970s and early 1980s became a period of artistic reinvention, where she shattered old stereotypes and proved her ability to thrive beyond musicals. Her return to mainstream success began in 1979 with the romantic comedy 10, directed by her husband Blake Edwards. The film became a cultural phenomenon, introducing Julie to a new audience and reminding Hollywood of her comedic timing and charisma. It marked her transition from the sweet, wholesome governess type to a mature actress capable of handling modern romantic roles with sophistication. In 1981, Andrews shocked critics and audiences alike in Edwards' satirical film S.O.B., where she appeared topless in a bold, self-aware performance. The scene was not gratuitous, but symbolic. It represented her deliberate attempt to challenge Hollywood's typecasting and dismantle the goody two-shoes image she had carried for decades. Many considered it one of the most daring career moves of any actress of her stature. The pinnacle of her reinvention arrived in 1982 with Victor's Victoria, another Blake Edwards project. In this gender-bending musical comedy, Andrews played a struggling singer who pretends to be a man impersonating a woman. The role demanded not only her legendary vocal skills, but also her ability to navigate themes of gender identity, sexuality, and societal norms, subjects rarely addressed in mainstream cinema at the time. The film was a critical and commercial triumph, earning Andrews a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination, further solidifying her as a fearless and versatile performer. This period marked Julie Andrews' cinematic rebirth, no longer confined to the innocence of Mary Poppins or Maria von Trapp. She embraced complexity, boldness, and maturity. Through risk-taking roles, she redefined her place in Hollywood, proving that true stars could reinvent themselves and remain relevant across generations. Julie Andrews, Love and Life Ties. Beyond the spotlight of Broadway and Hollywood, Julie Andrews' personal life reveals a woman shaped by love, resilience, and enduring connections. In 1959, she married Tony Walton, a set and costume designer she had known since childhood. Their union produced a daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton, born in 1962. Yet, the marriage soon faced strain as Andrews' international career took her across continents, creating long periods of separation. By the late 1960s, the couple amicably parted ways, though they remained respectful co-parents. The turbulence of this period led Andrews to seek therapy, which she has openly credited with helping her maintain emotional balance. It was during this chapter of self-reflection that she met Blake Edwards, the acclaimed director behind films such as Breakfast at Tiffany's. Their relationship blossomed into a marriage that lasted 41 years, until Edwards' passing in 2010. Their union was not only romantic, but also deeply collaborative, together. They navigated both professional triumphs and personal challenges, including the adoption of 2 Vietnamese daughters. While Andrews' marriages defined much of her personal stability, she has candidly acknowledged moments of emotional intensity with co-stars. During the run of Camelot, she admitted to having felt a special connection with Richard Burton, though it never evolved beyond professional intimacy. Similarly, her partnership with Christopher Plummer in The Sound of Music carried a spark that transcended the screen. In later interviews, both Andrews and Plummer described their relationship as a flirtation mixed with profound respect, a friendship that endured until Plummer's death in 2021. Julie Andrews' private life was never dominated by scandal, but rather marked by deep loyalty, self-awareness, and the ability to forge lifelong bonds. Her 2 great loves, Walton and Edwards, alongside her cherished friendships with Burton and Plummer, reveal a woman who valued connection as much as artistry. In many ways, her emotional world mirrored her performances, tender, sincere, and timeless. Julie Andrews, voice lost, spirit strong, following her cinematic rebirth in the early 1980s. Julie Andrews entered a new chapter defined by both continued artistic exploration and unexpected personal trials. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, she remained a versatile presence, appearing in films, television specials, and stage productions. Her performances during this time demonstrated that even after decades in the spotlight, her elegance and adaptability remained undiminished. But in 1997, Andrews' life took a devastating turn. A surgery at Mount Sinai Hospital to remove non-cancerous nodules from her vocal cords left her with permanent damage, robbing her of the singing voice that had defined her career. For an artist celebrated as one of the greatest sopranos of her era, the loss was nothing short of heartbreaking. Andrews later described the experience as losing a part of her identity. In 1999, she filed a lawsuit against Mount Sinai and the two doctors involved, claiming negligence. The case was settled in 2000, but no legal resolution could undo the damage. With remarkable resilience, Andrews chose to reinvent herself once more rather than retreat into silence. She turned to writing, collaborating with her daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton, on a successful series of children's books that reflected her warmth, imagination, and love of storytelling. At the same time, she returned to film in new ways, starring as Queen Clarice Rinaldi in Disney's The Princess Diaries, 2001-2004, and captivating a new generation of audiences. She also embraced voice acting, most notably as Queen Lillian in DreamWorks' Shrek franchise. Despite losing her legendary singing voice, Julie Andrews never lost her artistry. Instead, she expanded it, proving that her legacy was not confined to music alone, but lived on through literature, film, and the indelible impact she left on global culture. By the dawn of the 21st century, she was celebrated not as a fallen star, but as an immortal icon of grace, resilience, and reinvention. A legacy of grace and resilience, from the loss of her golden voice to the reinvention of her artistry. Julie Andrews' journey reflects the resilience of a woman who refused to be defeated by fate. Rising from a troubled childhood to become a screen legend, she endured setbacks, heartbreaks, and reinventions with dignity. Her career and personal life, though marked by pain, shine as proof that true stars never fade, they transform. Julie Andrews remains not only a symbol of elegance and talent, but also of courage, leaving an everlasting imprint on generations of audiences worldwide. If Julie Andrews' story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more timeless legends.